Hey guys, welcome. This is a general reading for the collective of Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Welcome cross watchers for Pisces, and if you're brand new to the channel, welcome aboard. This is, well, yesterday, the 18th, was the 6-year anniversary of the day that I launched the channel, but today is the 6-year anniversary of the first reading that I did on the channel. And so I love sharing that with you, Pisces, because Pisces is one of the signs that was the first early adopter of my work, one of the most loyal viewing signs, zodiac signs. So I love being here with you at this time. So thanks for those of you who are OGs. Really love being here with you, but all the newcomers too. You're among good company. So thanks so much. It made it to 6 years. I know, kind of crazy. Who'd have thunk I'd be here all this time? Yeah, 6 years and however many pounds and aches and pains later, here I am. All right, I'm going to jump in and pull from Healing Spirits Oracle. Let's get you a message to activate the reading. Go within. Ooh, card 48. Go within. There's a little, I don't know if you can see it, there's a little candle there. And you can see some spirits sort of swirling around. Card 48. Always seems to be Pisces that gets the going within messages, and it's appropriate because you are sort of that sign. 12th house themes of what's within us in the psyche. It says, no matter how much you have learned or how much you are seen to be the trusted one that others go to for help and guidance, very true, you must always remember to give something back to yourself. Guardian spirits are telling you that you are also a sentient being, and as such, you will at times require regeneration from the healing powers of the universe. Meditation is good for mind and soul, and allowing yourself to be still when required will bring balance and contentment, which in turn will create clarity and peace. The inner you is your environment, so remember to treat yourself well. It's a great reminder, and for all of us, but if you are here as the Pisces, the inner you is your true domain. It's your special power. So I love that we get that message, you know, sort of as a reminder for all of us. So it's like by proxy, right? And I will also remind you that a couple days ago, Mercury stationed retrograde, which is also pulling us back and within to reevaluate, to reassess, to realign. Sometimes people kind of come back, they return to reconnect, to reunite, so don't be surprised if we have some of that happening. And it's happening in the sign of Leo, and it will, Mercury will be in the sign of Leo throughout the entire retrograde cycle. So it's fire energy. Leo is creative, so there might be some creative thoughts and perceptions that come to light. Okay. Sometimes I see Mercury retrograde as a time to kind of lay low and not say a whole lot. Don't run the risk of like misperceiving things or getting into tangled communication. But this is not one of those. I don't think, at least. I think it's a good time to bring up subjects for, you know, like, let's reframe this. Let's review this. Let's return to this conversation because the creative juices will be flowing. And so that's my take on it, at least. All right. So I'm going to pull a twin flame soulmate spread that kind of looks at present energies for you and your beloved, and you know, a look at your blocks as well. Do keep in mind, as always, it's a general reading, not a private reading, so it may not speak to everyone. Take what speaks to you, leave the rest. Also, the energies can come through reversed, meaning I'm going to say you, meaning Pisces energy. That's the sign I'm reading for, but it could be reversed, especially if you're here as the cross watcher. So, not a problem. That's pretty common. I have learned over the 6 years that I get a lot of cross watchers. That's more common than the actual sign coming to watch. It's just the way it works in Love Tarot a lot. All right, so you're coming in here with Hierophant energy, so a focus may be on a conventional committed relationship, or on thoughts about something more committed, energies around beliefs around commitment. You get the theme of the Hierophant here. And the block, 9 of Pentacles. The 9 of Pentacles is single, right? Independent, unattached, autonomous, and making their own way through life. So there could be that, you know, the block is that you'd like to be in something more committed, leading to life, partnership, marriage, etc. But the block is you're on your own here. So let's see for your person. They're coming in with 2 of Pentacles. Maybe they're trying to assess a situation. Maybe they're undecided, you know, kind of juggling some notion of what's going on here. Could be on the fence about something. So let's check their block. Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands is very much a force to be reckoned with. It's Aries energy, it's fire, it's passionate, it's very leadership oriented, it's take no prisoners oriented. And there's also something about the Queen of Wands that's very alluring, that can often leave someone feeling very drawn in. So we'll see when we get to the clarifiers. Maybe it'll give a little more clarity as to what this person is sort of on the fence about, undecided about. When it comes to the connection, we get the Magician. The Magician talks about manifestation, sure, but also about a sense of mastery. You know, we have all the tools when we see the Magician. We've got the, you know, all the elements working in our favor. So there should be a sense of mastery to go and manifest that which we desire. But in reverse, maybe we're not feeling so strong about that, or we're not feeling like we've mastered something. And so there's a sense of, well, we're not there yet. And the Magician can also be a little bit of a trickster. So we'll have to look at that in the clarifiers. Obviously, the divine message could be about mixed messages or a little bit of emotional overwhelm and confusion that's at work here. And in the opportunity, Queen of Cups. Now we've got the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Cups, love and passion, different dynamics here. So the opportunity might be to kind of operate from a softer touch, to not kind of come in as gangbusters, but to maybe play more from the softer side, more from compassion and sensitivity, and a little more feelings-based than driven, right? Queen of Wands, very driven, very, you know, focused on the desire of what you're trying to aim toward, right? Like, this is what I want, I'm driven, I'm going for it. Queen of Cups is playing more to the feeling surrounding it. So let's jump in and see what we get. Hierophant is where we'll start. Five of Wands, Knight of Pentacles, Nine of Cups. Yeah, I feel like there's some tension and maybe a little conflict possibly between the two of you around commitment in the connection. I do think things might be moving slowly, and that might be driving the tension, a little drama, argumentativeness, or something where you're not. I'm almost feeling like a Two of Swords energy a little bit, like where you're not seeing eye to eye, where you're kind of at cross purposes. It hasn't shown up here, but that's sort of what I'm seeing, because from the bottom of the deck in the unconscious energy, excuse me, swallowed weird, the Nine of Cups can be about things feeling good, but it can also be about complacency. Right? And maybe what the tension is, the cross purposes, is one of you thinks that things feel good as they are, and the other feels like, well, no, you're just, you're resting on your laurels here. So, for example, if this person is sort of like, well, I don't really know, where I come down on this, and they're blocked because they're feeling that you're pushing an agenda, let's say. And your agenda is, I don't want to be single forever here, right? And you're just, in this complacent, like things feel good for you, but they don't feel good for me. I want it to kick it up a notch. And things are really moving slow, if at all. Knights make offers. Where's the offer? Right? That could create conflict. So that's a storyline I'm kind of walking into here. Sorry about that. I got all choked up. Okay, so Nine of Pentacles is the block. 10 of Wands. Yeah, it's like Eight of Swords. I can almost hear you say, I've had it. Right? Like, this is too much, but you're feeling stuck. Queen of Swords from the bottom of the deck in your unconscious awareness. It's like you're seeing something clearly. Queen of Swords is, but you've got some unanswered questions about what's going on here. Queen of Swords is coming from a real level-headed, pragmatic, practical approach here. Like, just give it to me straight. Just the facts. And it's almost as if you can't sort of get out of this quagmire of feeling stuck around something because you don't have all the information. You don't have all the answers. So there's some dialogue, some communication that will probably go a long way to helping get you unstuck. But the question would be, have you put yourself in a prison of your own making? Right? Are you just at cross purposes because there's a question of timing, that one person is ready to move forward and elevate the connection and take it to the next level, and the other person's just not quite ready? Do you have a difference of beliefs around commitment, right? Like, and it's going to be different for all of you, right? Because it's a large crowd. So those are the questions you should be asking yourself. So that you can kind of know a little bit more before you take it to a full-blown, conversation. So let's look at your person's Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles lands on the Two of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles, Seven of Swords. So this person is absolutely sort of on the fence, torn and indecisive. But the Eight of Pentacles is a card of, focusing on it, putting in the effort, and coming up with creative solutions to any problems. It's a fix-it card. It's a I got to look at this. I've got to zero in on it. But the card from their unconscious awareness is one of avoidance. So that's why I feel we get the double hit of the Two of Pentacles, because they know they have to focus on it, but when they hit that wall of like, yeah, well, I I just don't see a way out, right? Like Two of Pentacles, juggle, juggle, juggle. Well, I'm focused and I'm juggle, juggle, juggle. And then there's just a part of them that's like, I just want to get away from this, right? So that Seven of Swords can be an avoidance card by way of just like, get me out of this. I don't want to have to deal with it. And then they juggle more. So it's probably what's keeping this thing in a stalled out energy, because they know that there needs to be some sort of attention given. That is coming from their conscious awareness that it can't stay in this sort of juggling forever. But then internally they're like, I don't want to deal with it. So they avoid. So they're either avoidant or they're kind of escaping the situation. And the Seven of Swords can be, I'll tell you this, but then I'll go do that. It's got that kind of quality to it as well. So they may be communicating one thing like, yeah, I want to work this out. And then, just ditching the whole thing by not really doing the work. That's also possible. So let's see in the block position, we have the Queen of Wands. King of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles. Judgment. Judgment can be about, forgiveness and second chances and all that. It can also be a surrender card. I've been noticing it a lot lately, coming through a little bit more about that, because, especially in relationship to timing, whether I'm seeing the Seven of Pentacles or I'm seeing the Wheel of Fortune. Sometimes whether it's, divine time or organic time, this King of Pentacles is a masculine archetype of a life partner. So it would go back to that Hierophant, right? And this Queen of Wands is your energy where you're kind of like, you're firm in what you want. And this person is blocked around that expectation of them stepping up their game and showing up for you in that energy of someone who, has your back, shows up, is reliable and predictable and responsible and all the things that a life partner would be. And what they really want and need is for this thing to kind of unfold in a more organic sense instead of in a tick-tock. We've been, together XYZ amount of time, and so we should be doing XYZ, and, look at that couple over there, we've been together longer than them, and, expectations. This person's wanting something that follows a more organic plan, and then internally, they're kind of like, but maybe to keep the peace, they should just surrender. So again, I'm not saying that they will, but I'm saying that a part of them has this energy of, I want to be happy. I want to keep peace, and perhaps I should just surrender. So I'm just going to say, from the part of me that spent quite a bit of time as a psychotherapist and work with couples, did couples therapy, you never want someone to just give in and do what you want because they surrender, because they feel overpowered, Queen of Wands, or browbeaten. You don't want that. So, because it never works. It doesn't last. So that's kind of the outer struggle that this person, but they're blocked around that. So let's see the Magician in the connection. Empress, Strength card, King of Cups. What's really lovely here is that there is deep love. I do feel what's being manifested here is the opportunity for the two of you to help each other overcome any obstacles, especially if you feel that you've got some tension. And even if this Five of Wands is an outside source of tension, even if someone else is getting, in the way, for example, and it doesn't feel like it's persistent in the whole reading, but I'm just going to give you an example. Outside source could be family members putting pressure on one of you, like, what are you doing in this relationship? When are you going to get married? When are you going to do this? Right? That's one example. Another example, very possible for some of you, because it's been in the Pisces readings before, is this person could have gotten out of a very bad marriage with a karmic partner, because that has been in the Pisces readings before. So it's coming up to me. I'm not feeling it heavily in this reading, but I'm giving it as an example. So remember that. Queen of Wands can be the ex-karmic. Here, King of Pentacles can represent, the former husband. And so this person may just need some time, right, to kind of shake that off. And so that's the block. And they seek forgiveness for that, right? Because they can't help it. And when I say they can't help it, it's just that they need the time to catch their breath. And so here's their love for you, all right? Here you are as their divine feminine, but they need the help to the two of you to overcome that obstacle. That's what you're manifesting, is the ability to kind of overcome the obstacle. And the obstacle could be that this person is still trying to push through whatever the remnants are of what they dealt with from a last connection, whether it was a marriage or a karmic partner situation or whatever, or overcome an obstacle of pressure from outside sources, friends, family members, anything that's pushing against from the outside and creating this tension between the two of you. Do you see what I'm saying? So, yeah. That's what is coming up for the connection. And the divine message, we have the Seven of Cups. All right, if you want to jump. Five of Swords, Emperor. Now we have the Empress and the Emperor, and Wheel of Fortune. So there's divine time here, maybe even a little nod to destiny. Because I'm seeing the Seven of Cups as, I'm seeing it in two ways. I'm seeing it as sort of where we're getting lost in the confused emotions, especially if we're feeling defeated. If you're feeling defeated in the situation, like things are moving too slow, nothing's changing, and I'm feeling stuck and like I've had it. And I don't have the answers that I need. I don't have the clarity that I need. And so I'm just overwhelmed and feeling defeated at the hands of someone that I should be able to trust their intentions. Got it? So then the message is, behind the scenes, there's a bigger plan. It's part of destiny unfolding. The Seven of Cups can also be like our imagination running away with us, our imagination filling in blanks when we don't have all the information. We start to fill in the blanks with, whatever we imagine somebody is setting us up for something, right? That we're being set up intentionally. So whether you're overwhelmed with, negative emotions and feeling defeated, or whether or not your imagination is running away and filling in the blanks that you're being intentionally set up, the divine message is kind of coming in to say, don't let yourself get bowled over by either heavy emotions or all the possibilities, all the options that are possible of what's really happening, because there's a bigger plan. It's something that's, playing out behind the scenes, that's meant to be unfolding the way it's meant to be unfolding. So almost as if to say, don't create drama unnecessarily. As for the Queen of Cups, this is the opportunity card. Page of Wands, High Priestess, the World. Well, the Page of Wands can be just the opportunity from your open heart and this person's excitement, newness, passion. Just can even be between the two of you. Keeping it sort of, I'm saying lighthearted, passionate, a focus on joy. High Priestess is, there are things that maybe you haven't said to each other. Maybe there are things that haven't been shared. They may come in soon, and they may come in in a more, in a way that's very unassuming. When I see the Page of Wands next to the High Priestess, she doesn't speak, and sometimes she's associated with secrecy or something left unsaid. And because I see the Queen of Swords in the block, like that, you have unanswered questions, they may come in and you'll be left to use your intuition to kind of sort it out, and it may come in very nonchalantly. Right? So you want to keep your heart open for what's being said, so that as you're hearing it, as it unfolds, or if any kind of message comes through, that, you allow your intuition to guide you to the meaning of it, that goes a layer deeper, because you've got something here that you need to sort of judge for yourself, the intensity of it. Right? This isn't someone who's really great at communicating depth of feeling, and it's not because they don't have the depth of feeling. It's because it's safer for them to sort of live on the surface for now. And what we have in the below of it all is the World card, which is Saturn. And it's about lessons being learned and old cycles being closed out so that the new cycles can begin. So there's something here that if you're open to receiving it at the level of your heart, if you're open to operating from some compassion, and just sort of cracking your heart wide open here, and I know it's not that you don't have an open heart. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying when things are dicey, and when we don't have all the information, and when we're filling in blanks, and our mind doesn't always go to the positive, then we get a little bit more forceful. And we tend to kind of have, our mind is a single purpose. And we can, lose the soft bubble wrap. And I'm not saying, be a pushover, or I'm not saying be a doormat by any stretch of the imagination. I'm saying that the opportunity will be to keep your heart open so that the message, which could be very unassuming, will reach you if you're not, with tunnel vision for this is what I want, this is what I'm focused on, and I can't take this anymore. And right, because it's got you in this sort of blindfolded and bound scenario of I don't know what to do, and you're kind of overthinking the situation, and that creates more restriction. And Saturn here is about restriction and limitation. So we want to close out the difficult cycle for each of you so you can feel the liberation that comes with the new cycle. Right. Because the World card is Saturn. Saturn used to be the original ruler of Aquarius. Aquarius's theme word is freedom. It is the Mana ruler of Capricorn. Capricorn's keyword is structure, right? Rigidity, limitations. It's the great teacher and the Lord of Karma. So I'm just saying the opportunity to mitigate these blocks and to kind of loosen everything up is to kind of allow this person to live on the surface that they need to live on for now, and be listening with an open heart and open ears to what's being said, because that's where you may get things that have not been communicated before, and that's why you've got confusion and unanswered questions that may go a long way to calming the tension. I know that this went long. I know yeah, I'm already over 30 minutes. I know that it's a detailed message, but if you think about it, it's just like a paradigm shift from the Queen of Wands to the Queen of Cups, from that moment of like, oh, I can turn it off for a little while. I can turn it off for a little while. I can just kind of soften my edges for a little bit and see if just dropping my shoulders and softening myself a little bit doesn't give this person more space and more room to come out with something. And even if it just seems like it's insignificant, it'll tell me a lot more than them not saying anything. And that's sort of what I'm seeing here. Now I'm going to take it to an extended so that I can look at it from this Emperor's point of view, meaning what's their perception of you? I'm getting a little bit of a flavor, but I want to see it in more detail. What are they, what are their feelings for you? What are their intentions toward you? What do they get? What are they getting from this? Right? Even if you're in separation, like they're getting something from the connection, even energetically. What is their level of fulfillment from the intimacy or the chemistry between you? Where might this connection be headed? So those are the things I'm going to look at in the extended. The links to that are below. And so if you want to take a deeper dive for this Empress and Emperor, follow me there. The links are below. There are 3 different ways to access the extended. So if you click on something, please read it. I gave brief little descriptions so that you know what you're signing on for, okay? Because 2 of them are memberships, all right? If you enjoy the reading or my style or my explanations or my interpretations, whatever it is, and you haven't yet done so, please do subscribe below, because I'm at, 66,000 and some odd. I'd like to hit 70,000 this year. We can do it. Let's get me up there. I'm 6 years in and I want to kind of hit 100,000 before I die. So let's do that. Thank you so much in advance. Here is the astrology that showed up for this portion. Hierophant is Taurus. Knight of Pentacles, Virgo energy. More Virgo energy in the 9 of Pentacles. And if you're dealing with a Virgo, wow. Extra added confirmation, and I'm feeling you. Queen of Swords is Libra. Then we have Queen of Wands is Aries energy. King of Pentacles, some Taurus. Judgment is Pluto, which rules Scorpio. The Magician is Mercury, which rules Virgo and Gemini. Empress is Venus, which rules Taurus and Libra. Strength card is Leo. King of Cups is Scorpio. Our Emperor is Aries. Wheel of Fortune is Jupiter, which rules Sagittarius. Queen of Cups is Cancerian energy. Page of Wands, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. High Priestess is the Moon. The Moon rules Cancer. And the World card is Saturn, as I said, Aquarius and Capricorn. And don't forget, your Oracle is Go Within, card 48. So that's what I have. Thanks for joining me. Yeah, I'm headed to the extended. Follow me there. I'll see you there in a second. Bye for now.